I call the Board of Commissioners meeting to order for October 30th, 2024. There he is. Nice to see Veteran Don Bradley again to lead us in the pledge, and Reverend Kevin Shiley to lead us in the invocation.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. God of every time and place, God of all peoples and nations, bring the power of your presence to our community and to this meeting of the commissioners. Instill your wisdom in our leaders. Guide them to seek and then to do your will. Open our hearts to your ways. Open our communities to all. Let us lift up one another. Teach us to speak to each other instead of about each other. Heal our land. Heal our divisions. Bring us together. And in all things, fill us with your hope and peace as we seek to share your love with all.
Amen.
Okay, we'll move on to item number 2 on the agenda.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the October 16th, 2024 Board of Commissioners meeting as submitted.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, motion carries. We'll move on to the Chief Clerk's report. Turn it over to Mr. Munsky.
Good morning. Thank
Morning.
you very much. I have just a couple items that I wanted to highlight on the agenda for everyone. First one I want to talk about was item number 8. This is approval of a purchase for new flooring in the county's 911 center. This is part of a planned kind of refresh renovation project that has been in the works. So that just one piece of it. We will also be doing wiring upgrades, furniture upgrades, and other things like that. So I wanted to put that one out there. Item number 16 is a motion on behalf of the Farm and Natural Lands Trust. And so as per usual, I'd invite Sean to come up and speak to that item.
Morning.
the
I don't
mic's
think it
on.
is.
It's
Yeah,
good
it's
now.
on. It's
You're
good.
good. There you go.
Morning, thanks for having me. Whoa. All right. Sounds better than the venue last night. My name is Sean Kenny. I'm the Executive Director of Farm and Natural Lands Trust of York County, and thank you for having me this morning. We have the property of Don and Ann English for you for your review this morning. It's just outside of Stewartstown in Hopewell Township, about 44 acres. Over half the property is Class 2 and 3 soils, which are considered high-quality soils of statewide importance. They've taken a number of areas of the property that were prone to flooding and planted those in the CREP program, which is via the Conservation District and the PA NRCS program. They've also planted vegetation along the creek that runs through the property. It's a tributary that runs into Deer Creek, and they've planted that with some rare and threatened Pennsylvania species. This property is also a short drive from the Davis property, which was a similar size that was approved by you all, thankfully, earlier this year. So we're looking to build a bigger block in this area, Hopewell Township, with coordination with the York County Ag Land Press Board. So thank you for having me. Any questions?
Any questions for Sean? Great, thank you.
Thank you.
The last item I wanted to discuss was item number 21 on the agenda. This is approval of a resolution 2024-29 to establish a temporary 30-day countywide ban on all open burning. We have been through this usually in different seasons. Usually in the summer season, it's a little bit more necessary. But based on the recommendation of the Office of Emergency Management and the fire chiefs around the county is instituting the burn on open banning for a 30-day period of time. Certainly, if conditions change, we would be able to lift that ban earlier, which would come out of the commissioner's office. So just based on dry conditions, and I believe no meaningful precipitation in the forecast in the next couple of weeks, the county's been asked to institute this burn ban, so that's on the agenda before you today.
Great, anything
And
else?
that's all I have.
Any questions for Mr. Munski?
Oh, the effective date is 3 days after we pass it?
Yes, I believe the effective date has to be 48 hours.
48 hours?
Yeah,
Okay.
after notification, so I
So
believe
they
the
know.
official effective date would be Friday.
Okay. Good.
Any other questions for Mr. Munski? Hearing none, I will open it up for public comment as it relates to items on the agenda. Hearing and seeing none, we will move on to a public hearing to discuss Resolution 2024-28 relating to the 2024 York County Hazard Mitigation Plan, and we welcome Wade Gobrecht, soon-to-be Director of the Planning Commission.
Thank you,
Welcome.
Commissioners. Thank you for the time this morning on the agenda for this public hearing. Just a quick overview. The Planning Commission, per the Pennsylvania Municipalities Planning Code, the York County Planning Commission is the designated agency of the County of York for planning initiatives. One of our primary responsibilities at the Planning Commission is to develop the county's comprehensive plan for adoption by the County Board of Commissioners that sets a sustainable direction for our county. There's many components to the county comp plan, but the main fundamental goal is to direct growth to areas in the county that can support it and that are suitable, also while protecting those critical areas, our natural resources within the county. Today, though, we're here to discuss the county's York County Hazard Mitigation Plan. That plan outlines everything that we are susceptible to, all the hazards that we're susceptible to, that we can experience in York County, and lays a path forward for our municipalities to acquire funding and mitigate those hazards prior to a crisis. The York County Planning Commission did make a recommendation to the County Board of Commissioners to bring this to the board for adoption. So at this point, I'll turn it over to Roy Livergood, who'll give a quick overview of the plan and a timeline for adoption. Thank you.
Thanks.
Morning.
Hi, Roy.
Morning.
Roy Livergood, York County Planning. I'm the project manager for the update to the hazard mitigation plan. As Wade indicated, our purpose here today is a public hearing to, as part of the adoption process of the plan itself, give a brief overview of hazard mitigation, the plan itself, and some of the hazards that are profiled in the plan. Okay. Oh, somebody else? Okay.
You can, if the clicker works, you can do it, or I can do it for you.
I think we've worked on it
Okay,
before.
great.
Hazard mitigation is any sustained action taken to reduce or eliminate long-term risks to life and property from a hazard. The primary purpose being to identify policies, actions, and tools to address those hazards. The Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000 places further requirements on the county as well as municipalities for having a plan in place to qualify for pre- and post-disaster mitigation assistance. Those plans are to be updated every 5 years. Just a little background on hazard mitigation planning in York County. Our first plan was adopted in 2008. This is the fourth iteration of the plan. It is a multi-municipal plan and serves the county as well as all 72 municipalities. The previous 2018 plan was adopted by all 72 municipalities. Preparation of the plan is guided by an 18-member local planning team. Those members include different agencies that deal with hazard mitigation, as well as stakeholders that could be impacted by hazards in York County. The plan updated itself and included extensive outreach. We sent out 4 surveys to municipalities and the general public. We held 4 public meetings. We also hosted a website, www.yorkhazmat.org, throughout the process to post that information throughout the process. And we also took advantage of social media to do outreach to municipalities, public, and our stakeholders. The plan itself consists of 8 sections. Section 1 introduces the plan. Section 2 provides a community profile. Section 3 describes the planning process used to create the plan. And Section 4 identifies hazards affecting the counties and profiles those hazards and ranks the hazards within the plan. This time around, we identified 25 hazards that were profiled and ranked. Section 5 of the plan summarizes the tools available to address hazards and assesses municipalities' capabilities of addressing hazard mitigation in the county. Section 6 identifies goals. There's 4 goals that remain the same within the plan. There were 10 objectives identified, and there were approximately 195 actions identified in the plan to address hazard mitigation in the county. Section 7 addresses the plan maintenance and ongoing implementation of the plan, and Section 8 describes the plan adoption process, which we're currently undertaking right now. New plan elements included in executive summary. It is a quite large plan, it's just over 1,400 pages. It identifies environmental justice communities and the impacts of hazards on those communities. It also we also added a section describing the extensive municipal stakeholder and public outreach that we did. New this time around also, we address high hazard potential dams, and by fulfilling those requirements, the county and municipalities are now eligible for high hazard potential dam grants if they should be needed. And we did an enhanced vulnerability assessment, which covers EJ communities, cascading impacts, climate change, FEMA lifelines, and economic impacts of the hazards identified. As I mentioned, the plan goals pretty much remain the same. Those are to reduce the possibility of injury and death to county residents and potential losses from hazards, encouraging coordinated effort, promoting proper planning and disaster-resistant future development, and increasing public understanding and demand for hazard mitigation. Within the plan itself, there are 25 hazards. 15 of those are natural hazards. The natural hazards pretty much remain the same. We updated the profiles, but they include drought, earthquake, extreme temperatures, flooding, and hailstorms, etc. There are also 10 human-made hazards addressed. There are 10 of those. We added 2 new ones. The 2 new hazards that were identified were substance use disorder and transportation incidents. We also changed the previously designated environmental hazards to hazardous materials for better chance to recognize that hazards, because environmental hazards, people didn't associate that with hazardous materials. Under nuclear incidents, we added radiological in the title to that to expand and make that more clear as far as what incidents that covers. And we also called out cyber terrorism as part of terrorism to make that more, add more emphasis on that with the ongoing cyber terrorism that it seems to be a big issue now. Most people like to know what are the highest ranked hazards. The local planning team ranked the hazards using the calculation and formulas provided by the state. And based on that information, substance use disorder was our #1 ranked hazard, followed by pandemic and infectious disease, flooding, extreme temperature, transportation incidents, nuclear and radiological incidents, radon exposure, winter storms, drought, and hurricanes and tropical storms at #10. So those are the highest ranked hazards. And that's pretty much a summary of a rather large document. With that, I'd like to take any comments or questions from the county commissioners, and if you can open it up to those in attendance today.
All
I don't have any
good. Thank you so much.
questions.
Any
No.
questions for Roy
No.
from the public? Okay,
All
thank
right,
you.
well, thank you very much. We'll be back at the November 20th meeting, I believe,
Okay.
to take action on the
We'll see you then.
document. All right, thank you.
We'll move on to new business.
Madam President, I move that we adopt items listed on today's agenda, numbers 1 through 24, for approval.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There were no executive sessions since our last meeting. Just a couple things under other business, mainly related to elections. We want to remind folks that November 2nd and November 3rd, this Saturday and Sunday, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., we will have drive-up service in front of our downtown location, located at 28 East Market Street, and our East York location, located at 2401 Pleasant Valley Road, for voters who have completed their mail-in ballot and would prefer to drop it off versus sending it in the mail. We will have county staff and sheriff's deputies present for that drive-up service location. So again, November 2nd and November 3rd, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. In addition, for those of you that were voting in person this year, you'll get your choice from one of these 3 stickers. If you recall, earlier in the year, the Board of Elections, in collaboration with the Cultural Alliance of York, launched an I Voted Design sticker contest with our students across the county, and 3 student designs were selected. So you'll see some new stickers when you go to the polling locations on November 5th. A couple other announcements, just to let folks know that on Friday, November 8th at 8:30 a.m., we will have our canvassing commencement meeting. On Tuesday, November 12th, we will have a provisional meeting at 11 a.m. On Friday, November 15th, we will have an initial certification at 11:30 a.m. And on Friday, November 22nd, we are planning to do our final certification that day at 11:30 a.m., providing all things work together to make those dates happen. The other thing that I have is I'm going to make a statement regarding election-related materials. We have processed election-related materials that were dropped off at our elections office in bulk last week, and we are in the process of analyzing those materials. The York County Board of Elections is working collaboratively with the Pennsylvania Department of State, as well as the York County District Attorney's Office. We are committed to ensuring the integrity, safety, and security of our elections, and we want to reassure our community that our process is working. We expect to be able to provide an update on this issue later today. So with that, I will open it up for any public comment.
Morning to everyone, to the commission. Dr. Larry Walter, our senior pastor, Shiloh Baptist Church. 2 announcements. This coming Saturday, just want to acknowledge to the community that we'll be having our ballot march. We'll be meeting at Penn Park at 11:30. We'll be marching to County Hall to cast our ballots, and then we'll be going back to Penn Park for prayer. Opening up in prayer, we'll be marching to County Hall at 12 o'clock. So we'll be coming through about 12 o'clock, 12:15. And then on the 5th of November, which is Election Day, Souls to the Polls, we have a partnership with Rapid Transit. So anyone who's looking to get to the polls, Rapid Transit will be offering free transportation to any poll along their fixed route, free of charge to any citizen of York County. So if you're having issues getting to the polls, Shiloh Baptist Church and Rapid Transit, we have a partnership, Souls to the Polls, all day long from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Along the fixed routes. So if you want more information, please get in contact with Rapid Transit, and they'll have the routing. Again, this coming Saturday at 11:30, we have our ballot march from Penn Park to County Hall, and then back to Penn Park. We'll be gathering at 11:30, marching at 12, coming through County Hall about 12:15, going back to the park to pray out around 12:30. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Actually, was a great reminder for me. Also, the other thing, thank you to the City of York, who is providing validated parking for an hour at the garage across from the Appel Center. So that information is also posted on the York County government website. Any other public comment? If you could just state your name and municipality and keep your comments to 3 minutes or less, please.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Bill Girosh, Spring Spray Township. First time I've appeared here, so hope I'm not out of order. A couple weeks ago, it was reported in the dispatch what York County and neighboring counties are doing with mail-in ballots that have some type of defect. And the way I read it, York does nothing with those ballots to notify the voter. Some counties send the information to the Department of State. Some take even further action. And so my question is, why is it that York County doesn't make some effort to notify the voter?
It's public comment, so we take your comment in. We can certainly chat with you later, so no problem.
Okay, well, I have other thoughts when I hear from you.
Okay,
Thank you.
you bet. And you did just fine for your first public comment. Any other public comment? I just want to go back, and I skipped right to other business because I was so excited to talk about elections, but there were no executive sessions held between our last meeting and this meeting. So if there's no further public comment, if I could have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned, and we will move on to salary board.
I make a motion to approve the minutes from the October 16, 2024 salary board as submitted.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. I will open it up for any public comment related to items on the agenda. Hearing and seeing none, we'll move on to item number 4.
I make a motion to approve the positions, salaries, hours of work, and fringe benefits as provided by existing collective bargaining agreements or as set forth in the York County Employee Handbook or York County Policy Manual for the following departments and row offices as stated below, with no additional benefits or concessions otherwise noted, and that was listed in the agenda.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. There were no executive sessions since our last meeting. I will open it up for any public comment. Hearing and seeing none, if I could have a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second?
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of adjourning signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned. Everyone have a great day, and remember to get out and vote on November